Welcome back to building a Prusa 3 Hephestos. The last time I couldn't go on because those cable chains that I have here and here were too big, because when I ordered them I didn't look careful enough and they said it was the outside, the inside diameter, when I thought it was the outside. So they sent from China and took into account that I thought that they used the inside diameter. This company uses the outside diameter, so they were too small. So I ended up making little crude adapters and it will hold. I got it to work. I did not record me filling all the cables, all the bunch of cables through the cable chains. It was a lousy job. I was not worth recording. So let's go on. It's a little bit of a mess here. I already had started recording, but then the camera comes out of me. I decided the card is full, so I had to delete some stuff. Now, first part is adding the ramps board with the plastic part to the frame. And it's gonna get interesting because on the other printer, this didn't fit very good. So let's see how it goes on this one. Okay, this screw was never the problem, but getting a second screw in a hole here. Okay, got it through the plastic. Let's see if you can get it into the metal. Yeah, it's the same shit again, I think. Or is it? Oh, this is not biting. And you can't even see. So I'm gonna loosen this upper one because I think it's easier filling it in. I'm trying to get the bottom one in first. If I find it. Come on. I think I found it. And now we have to fill in the upper one. It just does not line up with the boards. Same thing as the last time. It took me forever to get it somewhat in. And just to hold it, it should not take a lot. Let's try to take up that screw here. We got caught in the plastic. Get out here. Get out of here. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Because I can't see if I need to go down or up or what. And it did not line up on either printer. It's not a big deal, but I hoped that in the other printer it was a fluke. And it's gonna go nicely here. So what I think I'm gonna do is, come on, get unscrewed. I prepared a longer screw, which I think is also a 3, yeah, it's also a 3, just a longer one. So hopefully with one longer one, it doesn't have to really hold it. Just want to guide it in and so it's aligning somewhat up. So maybe I was using a longer screw, I can somehow pry it in there. Okay. Have to find the little hole again. There we go. And now here we have a longer screw, which maybe allows us to guide the whole thing in. I could just see what the issue was size-wise. No, it just doesn't want to go in. So I guess what I'm going to do is have it not properly mounted. Just gonna put the screw and hope that the plastic bites enough to hold it at least down to the plastic. This looks like it's somewhat doing, and tighten it here. Same thing as the other one. It's not gonna be a problem, but I'm not impressed. I thought the other one is a fluke, but apparently it just doesn't line up properly. Okay. Now we got the ramps mounted. What does this say next one? Next one is mounting the LCD panel. So we have that part here, which goes up. Let me try to move. Here we go. So this one goes up here. What do I say doing that? There. Do they see how they mount it? Do we just use nuts? They just use nuts. Okay. So we're gonna put the nuts up here. Be right back. There we go. Using some pliers to tighten them. Well, that one seems to be okay. This might rather like this. Yeah, they're okay. So that's the holder. Then we have our custom mounted display, which will go up like this. And then it's supposed to take on 3x20s. Put it to. Oh yeah, we didn't put the nuts in there yet. Which go in here. This is a custom one. I'm a little bit disorganized today. Last night was the Daytona 500, so went to bed kind of late. Oh yeah, these one have to be melted in. Okay, so I showed you the first thing how to put the nuts into the plastic, so I'm gonna have to prepare this. I'm gonna do this and then we'll be right back. Okay, we got the nuts in. So, next thing is to mount the display here. So, get it through. Okay, that looks good from this side. Another screw from the other side. Display is mounted. Okay, that's long enough. Okay, that's number 4. Number 4 is all the cabling, which I did. Number 5 is more cabling. Number 6 is even more cabling, I think. Okay, now it's the fan. The fan base. Okay, here's the fan base. Here's our fan. Sorry for being so disorganized. Okay. Got a nice Rebel-Tech air guard. They're good fans. And hopefully we will keep everything cool. So, our base is like this, and the fan goes with the cable. I think it matters whichever we do the cables. Okay, they say something by 16s. We don't have 16s anymore, so we're gonna use 20s. Again, the cable kit, the screw kit. It's a joke. It's a joke. I don't know what BQ was thinking. It's an absolute joke. Just in case you're doing it the wrong way, we're just gonna have to turn it around to make sure it blows and doesn't suck. Okay. So this one will be mounted here, and we'll do it the right way. Yes, I did. This is going to be mounted here, and it's going to put air on all the stepper driver boards here. Well, let's see. This is cabling. I forgot one. I just realized I forgot one cable, which is from the end stop here, but I don't think I can even get it through that anymore because it's so much, it's so tight. So, so we're gonna see what we do about that cable, because I can't fit anything anymore through the drag chain because it's too small. Oh well, shit happens. Shit happens. So what we're gonna do is using zip ties, the friend of every technician. We're gonna zip tie the shit out of that. To get it where we want it. Doesn't have to be pretty, it has to work. It's probably not a smart idea, but hey, we have to be smart all the time. Just gonna have it along the outside of the cable chain, so should be no problem. Come on. Yeah, just gonna have it on the outside. Go here, and when it's higher up, we can access it. We're going to do the next one. Oops. So, come on. Come on. So I don't know if anybody watching uses into NASCAR. I used to be a big Jeff Gordon fan, but he decided to retire before I had a chance on seeing a live race in the States. So, unfortunately, I never saw him, but he gave the number 24 to Chase Elliott, and I was kind of like, okay, I've been rooting for so many years for Jeff Gordon, at times where he won, at times where he didn't win. I just liked him. I mean, it's not like he really knows people as a person, but the way he acted always was like very gentlemanlike, and he was not like some of the drivers who will do everything just to win. He was always a gentleman driver. So I decided if he gives over the number to Chase Elliott, he must have trusted in Kid, because he could have said, like, please don't use my number anymore. But he said, no, it's a good successor, I trusted Kid. So I decided to root for him. Okay. End stop's gonna be down here. And he had a wonderful rookie season. Chase Elliott is a really, in my opinion, a really good driver. He didn't just inherit it and is just there because he has good material. He is a good driver. And I think because he was around all the drivers as a kid, he doesn't have that horrible like, oh, those are legends respect, and he just doesn't care, he just drives. And I think it's awesome. I think it's really awesome the way he drives. And yesterday he was leading in the last lap, and then Martin Truex Jr. kind of bumped it out of the way. Not in a bad way, but just how they drive, how they fight. And so I ended up like on 14th place, I think. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, it's gonna be his first win, it's gonna be his first win, and then like, eh. But no, I do like Chase Elliott. His driving is really good. I like him a lot. Okay, let's see. We got the end stop this one. Then we got the end stop here. Oops. But no, after that I was like kind of like psyched up, so I couldn't sleep. Sometimes I have insomnia. So what do you do when you have insomnia? You play LS scores online. So I came to bed at 3 AM. Which causes me to be a little bit disoriented and a little bit tired and quite being cranky this morning. I'm just too old for partying, kind of like, well, what I call partying. Okay, how do they want to have that cabling? They said to use that as a sit, but it's in the air. It's gonna block a little bit, I think. Not happy with the way they want to do stuff. Well, let's see if I'm gonna do the cables. Gonna do it my way. Lots of sides. So what now is like a really boring part. It's just mounting the cables to go here to the board to get in there without moving around too much and being in the way of things and getting caught in various mechanical parts. And at every point I just bundle them up here, and because my first contract I don't want to break stuff. But on this one I'm gonna shorten the cables to have it a lot cleaner than my other printer. So yeah, this will not get caught. they tend to have been a model around in the front part. Let's see how this works. We want that cable to go down there. And come back down here, I guess. That must be your intention. Can I get a zip tie through that one hole that they put here? Come on. Kinda. That doesn't work very well. I'm gonna use the other hole here. Upsala. Yeah, cable management is always a bitch. Cable management always is a bitch. Oops, and this thing is, this between all the metal is starting to be heavy. Come on, come on. So oh well, gonna do this at the end. I need all the complaints and stuff. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna mount it on the front part. Again, this is right now a very boring part with all the cables. And I probably have to move the case around a lot of times. So basically, according to the manual, we're trying to get, right now I'm trying to get a cable down here fixed and some more cables. So I have to probably turn around so you probably can't see it very good. So I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to fix the cabling like I wanted. And I'm going to be back when we actually put it on the board. I'm going to try to get a closer view so people see how it goes. Okay. The cables are somewhat nicely bundled, and now we're going to start with the connectors. I'm going to record everything in one shot, but I'm going to cut out the parts where I just shorten the cables and do connectors. So, or maybe I'm just going to stop it and just do it by bursts. Okay, let's see. We got the lower one, which is the shortest one, which is the lowest one is the X connector, the X end stop. Then I made labels to know which axis the connectors go, just to make my life easier. Which is the lowest row. The next up is the Y end stop. Red cable plus to the right. So there is one pin row that's going to stay empty, and it's going to go to that one above. And then we have the set and stop, which is another like one space there and one above. So when you have the original BQ, the top row will not be there, so you have one row, then the set, an empty row, and the Y, and empty row on the X. The empty rows would be used if you would have a second end stop on the other side. But we do it with the programming, which tells it the maximum amount it can travel. So these are the end stop cables. And yes, I'm going to stop it just to make it easier for myself with editing. Because this needs to be edited to be in a somewhat timely manner to be followed. So we have the 3 end stops up here. So I'm going to stop it, shorten that, and then we're going to do the next part. Okay, now I shortened these. I had a little bit of a hard time because of thicker cables. Good, should work. So those are the 3 end stops. That one could have been a little bit shorter, but it's hard to work here. So let's see what's next. Next part is that's the cables coming here, unmarked them, would be the Z-axis cables. Just gonna try to detangle the cables a little bit. Okay, that's the Z-axis, the Z-axis. This is the two ones that bring it up and down. And those go, Z-axis, go. Cables look different in this one. Oh, that's funny, the cables are differently colored than they used to be on the last one. That's interesting. I'm gonna check this really quick, take one of the cables from the set and check it really quick with the existing printer. Okay, the cables are the same, so I guess I just didn't remember that basically the drawing is wrong. Okay, well, as long as we know it is, and we have something to check, so basically the black pin goes to the bottom and the Z-axis is these two here beside each other since they're controlled by one stepper, which will bring the whole carriage up and down. Now, the next one is here, which is not labeled. So, this one must be the extruder. Since this one the first one that I got through the cable chain, and I bound them together. So these gonna have to get a plug. Let's see. I mean, these one I have to shorten, but this one, where does the extruder go? The extruder goes down here. Am I getting away without shortening them? I just don't want like tons of cable like here. That obviously has to be shortened. But the extruder, we can go here. Now, then we have some cable I didn't attach. Oh yes, this is the extruder. So I'm gonna get a plug really quick and mount it. Okay, so let's take off the tape. Get off. Okay, and then let's just look at the other cable for the right sorting. So it's blue, green, red, and black. Come on, black, come in properly. Got a little needle to help me. And stuff doesn't want to go down there properly. Well, it looks okay. Now, and then with the black cable up, it goes here for the extruder. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. Again, it's not that giant bunch like this. Okay, now the next one. Let's see. Green and the blue. This is the red one. And there must be a black one. There we go. That's the black one. That's this one that I threaded through afterwards. So this is the x-axis. Yes, it goes left and right. So we're gonna put it in again. The order was blue. Green. Red and black, and the x-axis goes with the black cable down on the lowest one here. Okay. Now we cut up and down, left and right, the extruder which feeds the plastic. So we still got the y-axis, which is this motor, and I didn't have the cable yet. So I made all this, but I forgot the cable here. Okay. Not a big deal. I'll try to avoid dumb stuff like I do. Now that was fun. I tipped over the tripod and nearly fell down and hit the floor. So work better prepared than I do. I just completely forgot about that cable. I made everything else, but I forgot about that cable. Zip tie time. It's gonna be here. And then let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna shorten it. I'm just gonna thread it through the bottom here. Yeah, I'm just gonna thread the single line through the bottom here. And this is the NEMA 17 motor that brings the bed back and forward. We just black cable down up here. So we got all the cable mess. So I'm gonna shorten that and I'll be right back. The cables are now shortened, so we got the motor cables. Now let's see what else we have. We have the cables for the heating element, which go in on D10 here. So I have to get a little screwdriver. Since the one I have on the table is too big for that. Okay. Yeah, this one fits perfectly. So it's the D10 connector. The positive side is marked. So you got the negative on the left. If I get it in. Might have to loosen it up some more. Those cables in. I tighten the connectors. This is what heats up the nozzle part where the plastic gets melted. Okay. Then we have the fan. So we have to check which cable is which one. Sync. Okay, that should be the pairs. I'll clock it. Now I just have to check which one is which one on the front. And the one with the whitish coloring seems to be the fan for the nozzle cooling. So we will try to slide the cables back down here. Come on. Come on, don't fight. So, I'm gonna put this back down here. And then down here. No, I don't have the really small crimp contacts like for those ones, so I'm sliding back down. Then they D9, yeah, D9. So same thing. Positive on the right, negative on the left. Loosen up. Slide in and tighten it. Also for the nozzle fan. Then we got one more set of fan cables here, which are for the regular fan, and they both go on this terminal. This black being white, so they go in here. Wasn't this go down if it's here. Gonna loosen it up right away. There's gonna be more connectors that have to fit in here. We're just gonna remember these go into that connector here. Then we have this plug here, which is the thermistor from the nozzle, which goes here on the lower part. Which cable is up and down is doesn't matter. It's just that it's just a resistance. It's a resistor. Depending on how hot it is, the resistance changes, and that's how the board can tell what heat there is. Now we've got. Go away here. Release the thermistor and the heating up for the heat pad. Now the heat pad goes in on D8. Also positive on the right, negative on the left. Come on, go in. Oh, they're putting up a fight. Come on. Try to lift it a little bit. Ah, it's just too heavy to lift with one hand for a longer time. Come on. Backward and now the positive one. In tightening you can feel it if you have a grip. You can feel it when you touch the cable, how it's getting clamped down. Yeah, that looks good. And the thermistor goes... gonna check it out, the sink right above. I'll be right back. Yeah, the thermistor should go right above that. So we got the fan here. Can be down here. I also made some connector cables for the power, which also go into the plug. So it's, I'm sorry for the mess here, it's XT60 connectors and end pieces on the other side. So we're gonna have to fill all those in. So the one they put all in one thing, but I'm gonna distribute it between left and right since both gonna have power. The plug for the heat bed as well as the other plug. The design is not really that good that they did in my opinion. Having to cram all that stuff into a connector, but oops, there goes the cable. There's nothing we can do about it right now. So just gonna have to fill around to get it like we want it. Go in. Get jammed in. Clamp down. And should hold. On the other side. Positive. And that fan connector. Because sometimes the pin slides out and stuff, so I don't like the design very much. But it will do. Just check. Yeah, when it's in the cable will be just okay. And on the other side, we will also have the cable from that fan that goes up here. And this cable has the plug for a computer. So we will just gonna say, how long do we need it? Not even that long. I'm just gonna snip it off. cut off that plastic plating that's supposed to protect it. Cut that off too. Trying to only cut the plastic, not the cables. Come on. So we got those done. Gonna take a little bit of tape. I could try to make it look nice. A little bit of tape just for the braiding. That'll do. Let's try to be nice and put a zip tie too. One zip tie more or less will not make a difference. We got this here. Then we're gonna cut off the yellow one, since the yellow one is not needed. We got positive and negative. Take off the end if the machine is working. Which is not, but we got nails. Okay. There we go. And we're not gonna tin it. And tell me I'm not supposed to tin it. So we got the plug here. Now the cable for the tin bed. Where did I put it? Right here. So here we got the positive and negative. Yeah, again, it's not a good way to do it, but that's the design they have. I don't have that cable thingies to, and no proper English name of the plastic and metal parts that get crimped down, so I'm just gonna try to get in the few cables and hope they will clamp down. I have to see where I can order the ones. The one that I found in the store are all too big for the really thin cables. I have them for the thicker cables, but for the thin ones right now I don't have any. So I'm just gonna put in the pure cable. It should be conductive enough, and hopefully clamping in enough. Well, conductive it's anyway, but yeah, it will not slide out easily. So that's the plug here. And now I'm gonna have to take that connector and put it through here and put the display connector here. Okay. And the fan will be mounted here. Well, no, the cable should be okay. There's always a little bit of a mess with the cables here. Why is that not going easily? Let's try the other side. It goes in easily, but they're too long. The screws are too long. And I have 1/16 screws somewhere here on the table. There we go. Going in. Yeah, it feels like it. Just have to make sure it doesn't stick out the other side too much. And I have to find a short one really quick for the other side. Those too thin? No, this actually 3x8 might be perfect. Oops. Just wondering if it fits in like... Trying to find the hole. It goes in properly. Again, my painted part is going to be like a little bit different from the original BQ parts. Yeah, that seems nice. So we're going to use that size on this side too. 8mm seems to be perfect for that job. Don't stick out the other side at all. And there's no like heavy stress or anything on that little frame. Again, be careful, your screw set is horrible. There's nothing really in there after all. Okay, so the fan looks good too. The cables are not really touching it too badly. So, I'm not mistaken. We made all the necessary connections. Now, this is where the printer is going to stay for now, till I made its own little table. As soon as I plugged it in with USB and the computer was turned on, it did show the temperatures, 18 degrees room temperature right now, so the thermistors are working. It says XYZ is no question marks, that's okay. The fan symbol is there, says Matilda ready. So, we're gonna open up Prontoface and see if you can connect to it. That will be the next part. So let's see if Prontoface can connect to it. So it's connecting, COM1 115.200. I'm not sure if it's COM1. So let's check in the computer what's connected. Okay, let's see, USB to serial, and it says a question mark, so update driver. Yeah, because Prontoface seemed to not be able to connect. The computer seems to be frozen. Computer seems to be frozen. Okay, can't connect. see if USB to serial was be the board. This is a fresh computer, so there might not be everything installed that we need. Okay, interface can't connect, so I'm gonna close it. Okay, it says it properly. The serial comes 3. Okay, that looks better. We've got the drivers, so let's reopen interface. COM3, connect. Ah, there we go. We have a connection. And you see here like it reason when I got the connection. So, next thing I have to put power on. Okay. Now back here I have a modified ATX power connection with a permanent line to, like I put like it permanently to a power outlet which has its own switch and has a dedicated line for 3D printers which goes to the electrical outlet. So that fan is running. Yep. The back fan is running. So it works out nicely. Now, let's say when we say okay, we can move it one direction but not other one it seems. Okay, that's not good. And stop hits. Okay. What about up and down? Nope. Doesn't go back. Okay. Gonna have to check the end stop connector since there's different end stops than which was applied. So I'm gonna have to look at that stop because it currently says end stop hit. So, but we get power, something happens when I try to. It just seems to go in the wrong direction. Or the end stop seems to, we should go right, it goes left. So, I have to play around, and it says the end stop hit. So I have to play around with the connectors in the back. And I'll let you know what I did for getting it running. So that's the troubleshooting part. It's easier when I have the full PQ set with everything PQ, but I lose different end stops. So I might have just turned around the cablings. I just have to check it up and look at it. See you in a bit. Yesterday I got pretty upset at the end because the first problem was the motor is moving in the wrong direction. Easy fix in the software, just invert. Same things for the end stops, just with true and false on inverting. You can adjust that. But the printer still wouldn't print properly. It would, like on slow movements that I did with Printerface, it was smooth. But when I said home, it was like really jerky and first I couldn't figure it out. I thought it's a mechanical problem. I checked everything. But again, smooth movements, slow movements, perfectly fine, smooth. But when I pressed the home button in Printerface, it was like getting really bad, moving the axis up and down. So I got frustrated, tried about everything, and at the end just said, okay, I'm gonna call it a day. I'll come back today and not the next day, which is today. And in the evening I checked some stuff and I figured it out. It was basically that on the default values of the firmware, the acceleration and the top speed, everything was just set to high. So I compared with the values on the other printer. If anybody needs that stuff, just send me an email or a comment or something. I'll post the info. And as soon as I got it to work slower, it started to work smooth, so I calibrated it. And I'm gonna get it heated up and we'll see how the print comes out. So after bed leveling and some calibration with the axis, which is just basically fiddling around with the force goes to the corners, make the bed level, and then on the left side of the printer here, there's a screw working on making it go down properly, which is part of the bed leveling basically. I got it with good adhesion, and it's still stuck because it's not cooled down yet, but as soon as the bed will cool down it will release. I got it, and you see the adhesion is good. I can shake the whole printer with that, which is because it was proper leveled, and yeah, the printer is working. The problems I had last evening, was basically just settings that the axes were too fast, putting in the values that were in the BQ software from the other printer. Worked out, and if you have the problem, just let me know and I'll look up the values for you. So the build is finished. What I'm going to do in the long run is what I did with the other printer, mounting it on a fixed plate. Is probably going to get its own like a little rolling table, where I'm going to clamp down the ports here and in the back, and there's going to be a back bar to make it as sturdy and not moving as possible, which just improves print quality. But for now, basically I can use it for projects, and the other printer is free for production. And this is for my little parts for tinkering. So, this concludes the series. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you want nice ball jointed dolls and stuff, or baskets or other stuff, head on to my Etsy shop. And if you need custom 3D prints, please contact me too. Just keep in mind that I can do like giant prints, and that I cannot do anything where there is a copyright or something and the owner of the copyright is not ready to let me print it. For most of the stuff from Sonya I do, which makes ball jointed dolls and made also the BQ doll and the Bragg the Dragon, I'm allowed to print those. If she brings out new stuff, I can ask her. I have a basically understanding with her that I donate part of the income to a good cause. It's for kids. I can post links if needed, and I'm allowed to print them. So well, I hope I didn't put anybody to death. If yes, don't send me a bill for the coffin. I'm not gonna pay it. That's it. Let me see if I can get it off. Yep, now it comes off. You see the, I show it over the camera. You see the brim here and the cube, and it's solid. So that concludes it. Bye.